Hey everyone, happy Friday the 13th. You know, it is Friday the 13th, but good things are happening. Feeling pretty good today. Doing a anti-vibration treatment on these handlebars for my son's Cobra 2022 FWE50 and for another friend's son's KTM SX50 that he just started riding and was complaining the first day that his hands were vibrating. And my son did the same thing when he went from a PW to the P3 or Junior. There is a lot of vibration in the bars. I searched all over the place. There's not a whole lot of solutions out there to try and take care of it. That and the fact that when these kids are little and they're young and they're just starting to learn to ride, they really got that death grip. They're hanging on really hard because of fear. You know, these things they're gnarly. I wish I was 60 pounds so I could go ride it. You know, I see how fast they can go. They're pretty cool. But what I found out is that through internet research and calling friends and people in the industry, there's not a whole lot that's out there that you can just buy to help out. So I came up with my own engineering here in the garage, and it really worked for my son, not just for the bike that he had, but we just did this one here. And also, we know the people that bought his previous Cobra, and I have asked Jason with Orion Power Sports, look him up, if his son Grayson has any complaints, and he said not one time had he ever complained. He bought Grayson a KTM Mini just to see which one that he liked better, the Cobra or the KTM, and he said that he did have a vibration issue on the KTM. So I know it's the treatment worked on our bars. So these bars are the KTM 50 Micro Pro Tapers. This is the Schoolboy low Micro Pro Tapers right here. Both of these have been treated completely. They're done. This one is in the process, and I'll show you the final end of this one. And it is the Cobra Junior Micro Pro Tapers. And this is the KTM factory bars that come, and you can tell they're not tapered on the end, so they are a little bit bigger, but I can blow right through it. It's hollow all the way through these bars. So are these here. If you'll listen to this, see if you can pick it up. It's got that vibration. You can hear that tink. Now I'm going to do these here that have not, they have been treated. They're solid, right? They are solid. And then on my son's, it's set. What I do is, and I don't have my can handy, is the Great Stuff foam sealer that you use for your house or to fill a hole or whatever you want to do. I take these bars and I shoot it from one end all the way through to the other, fill them up completely, and then I let them sit for about 2 or 3 days so that they will dry. And yeah, you're going to have boogers coming out the end. Not a big deal. Cut it off with the razor blade, i.e. the razor knife. I cut those off. And then what I do, and here's where we start getting into the trick, is I drill the length of the grip, and I drill that foam that's hardened up, I drill it out. Okay, you're following with me. Both ends, it's the right length, right to the end. You don't have to go any further than that because they're not holding on there. And then what I found is that through doing some research and just general knowledge, that lead is very, very dense. And it's used in a lot of different things for taking care of vibrations, or it's a soft metal, so it absorbs very easily. Take the shotgun shells. These are number 7s and number 8s that I didn't use from the last couple of years. Carefully cut them open on the end. Not the brass end, not the business end. Don't want to be whacking there. It's safe to cut these open. It's not going to hurt you. And then I found, through trial and error, I'm trying to pour these little bitty tiny BBs, and they are small. In the end of the bars, use a syringe or anything that you can find, and I'll fill them up. Just go nice and slow till you get about an 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch to the end. And what I do is once I get it filled up in here, I'm trying not to, there we go, we're full. I've got a little catch-all right here. So I'm going to pour a little bit back in. You can already hear that it's starting to thunk. I'll take and get it to where I know that they are set in there and pretty solid. Black RTV, clear silicone, whatever you want, but fill it up. And you can get a good amount even if it overflows in there. Usually what I'll do is take my thumb and press it in. Take the excess, go back over it again. So it's got a nice seal. Don't worry, because once this dries, you can come back with a razor blade, clean it off nice and perfect. And then what I'll do, flip it over and hit the other side. And what this does is when the vibration comes up through the bars, it hits the foam first, and if there's anything left after that, it goes up and travels to, excuse me, I gotta stand up here, travels up to the lead. At that point, it's gonna definitely take a lot of vibration out of the bars. Pack that in there good, where it's nice and solid, and then fill it back up with your, it has no bearing on the throttle, it has no bearing on the grips as far as the way that they go back on. Once you clean this end off and it hardens with this sealant, and I use black RTV, just my preference, $6. Once that's done, let this sit for a couple days, and once it skins over and it's good and solid, and you know RTV, if you've messed with it, it's solid. I mean, you can hear it already. So these 3 sets of bars are done. I'm going to return this set to my friend, keep this one as a spare. This was just for shits and giggles, just to show you. If you have any questions, I know that it's an unorthodox way of doing it, but hey, whatever works, right, for these kids to help them go. I also have to redo a throttle cable on this and some other things, so it was the perfect time to do it. Anyway, I hope you have a great 2023. Y'all be safe. Like and subscribe if you help us out here just to see who's watching. If you have any tips, throw them in there. I like to hear them too.